Well, perhaps we could we we could speak about something that is said that we really shouldn't talk about. A couple things: politics and religion. We seem to want to keep those to ourselves, not have something to talk about, not have them something to talk about. So what happens is many underground things are born and many beliefs emerge, and we have tremendous misunderstanding with each other because we don't talk about it. We don't talk about politics and religion, or at least minimally. So it allows the religions to promulgate, to put forth all sorts of different things. The Christian folks talk about the rapture. We're gonna, not we, the religious people are going. They're going to drop all their clothes, all their belongings, and up they're going to go. Whoop 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 whoop. Gone. The folks to whom the baton was passed, the God baton was passed from God to Jesus. Hello, Jim. So those folks, the Jesus folks, the evangelicals, they have some really strange ones. There's going to be a chariot. It's going to come flying in with Jesus in it, and he's going to take all of the people like me, the bad people, throw them in the lake of fire, wherever the hell the lake of fire is. And he's going to take all the good people, obviously the evangelicals, onto this chariot, must be a big chariot, and take them all up to heaven where they're going to walk around on some kind of the golden, all the roads are in gold bricks or something like that. So there's all of these different beliefs. I believe the Muslim people believe that they are the only religion. They're going to be the last religion on planet Earth, and everybody else who isn't a Muslim is a infidel. And of course, everybody is supposed to be a Catholic. At any rate, I guess you see this consideration that to not talk about religion and politics is maybe the worst idea we could ever have. When it comes to politics, for most people, at least during my short time on planet Earth, I'm a young pup, I've been told that if you see a politician's lip moving, they're lying. We've had a completely terrible view of, if you will, politicians, and yet we hold them in high regard. They make $175,000 a year, and they're the people who say $7.75 or $8 an hour is enough for us. So we don't have a whole lot of conversation about politics either, so they can get away with just about anything they care to get away with. Because if you've ever tried to step into the political arena and get something passed or something done, you'll notice that it's very difficult to do. So the two things that are said that we really shouldn't talk about, which is religion and politics, are the very things that we need to speak about, to bring our conversation with one another about. Throw it out there, put it out there, your belief that the evangelicals are going to, or the Christians are going to rapture up, and the evangelicals are going to fly off in a chariot, and Jim and Edward and the rest of the bad people are going to be thrown into the lake of fire. So if we begin speaking with one another and share those ideas with one another, unfortunately they're not ideas, they're beliefs, then perhaps we can begin to understand and see why it is that we have an insane world, and for sure in America, an insane country. We're truly insane. America is supposedly known as a Christian country. And in our 242 years, we have been at war for 226 of them. And if you talk to the religious people, they'll tell you that's because of religion, because we want to have a religious country. But if you look in the what's happening in the Middle East, you'll see those folks are all religious countries, and they just fight or argue. So that's not really the answer, is it? Of course, America now is all religious, at least the government. State has been thrown completely out of our government. And now all we have is church. So church now rules. And we still have this unspoken, or actually spoken rule. Don't talk about religion or politics. My suggestion is we need to bring out every conversation that we can bring out about religion and politics, because those are the two things that rule us. Well, we actually rule ourselves because we train and condition ourselves to be a Muslim or a Catholic or a Zen Buddhist or all the insanity, 4,200 different forms of belief about some sky fairy up there that's gonna, who knows. But if we begin speaking with each other about it, if we begin having open, honest conversation about religion and politics, America, well, of course the world as well, but we're only considered right now concerned about America perhaps, would be a far more open and easier to deal with country, because we would all share with each other our ideas, our, unfortunately, beliefs, because we form these beliefs, and then from the belief, we think we're right. We are right and everybody else is wrong. In my brief 70-something years, I think 6 or 7, the one thing I've noticed is, on this planet, especially in America, well, I've been about halfway around the world, but one thing I have noticed, everybody knows everything. They're right about it. Everybody knows everything. The Zen people knows you don't have a nose, you don't have a mouth, you don't even, anyway, everybody knows everything. So if we begin sharing all of these, everybody knows everything, then maybe we can begin making a dent in this universal truth. And this is a universal truth. Planet Earth is an insane planet. It's filled with insane people that know everything. So anyway, if you would consider what I'm saying, then you might begin sharing your own beliefs, your own ideas, your own thoughts, and realize that they're just your own ideas, your own thoughts. As a matter of fact, they really aren't even yours. They were passed on to you by your generations and generations and generations before you. You are a trained and conditioned robot, bringing forth war after war after war. Now, the manner in which we can escape that is to begin having conversation with each other without anger, jealousy, fear, all of those things, which is obviously a huge challenge. So is it possible for us to come together as a group, begin explaining to each other that at end times we're going to up into the sky and leave all of our clothes and all of our belongings here and end up in a place that's got gold roads, and or a guy's going to come down in a chariot and pick up all the good people and take them up there, and they're going to throw the bad people in the lake, and or the Muslims are going to be the only religion on planet Earth, or all the 4,200 religions that we have here they're all right, they're all the one, you see? If we begin sharing with each other our deepest and most cherished beliefs, perhaps we can escape from it. Jim says, do you need to talk to the religious people? Well, in America, 70% of us are religious. And the religious people elected Donald Trump. So what particular reason would we not talk about religion or politics? You see, not talking about them, as I said earlier, is why we can hide all of our silliness, how we can just believe the dumbest things you could ever consider. I had a evangelical fella today tell me, I asked him how we will know when Jesus returns. Now, if you listen to this answer, what he said was, it'll be easy to know when Jesus returns because he will be leading an army of angels. Now, think about that statement, an army of angels. That's almost what do they call that? An oxymoron, is it not? So all we need to do, you guys, is look into the sky and wait for this army of angels being led by Jesus. And you'll know that Jesus has returned. Got it? I'm glad I could clear that up for you. A perfect life to each of you. Thanks for listening if you've gotten this far in this silly ass conversation I'm having with myself. Thanks for sticking around, Jim.